Hello guys, and welcome in this 6th episode of my racing game chart. In this chart I try to put all the racing games I played according to two elements, physics and graphics. Of course I can't add games I never tested. This is how we left the chart almost 3 months ago. As you can see, there are both old and new games. In this way you can see also the evolution of racing games during the years. According to that, I evaluate the old racing games like new racing games. In that way it's easier to see the evolution. Okay, I think I told you everything, but if you want, there are more infos in the video description. Let's add more games. – 2020 is the year of console transition. We pass from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, and from Xbox One to Xbox Series X. And World Rally Championship 9 is one of the first games which will fully exploit the potential of these two consoles. But of course, PC gamers can already see the game with all the graphics settings set on Ultra. I must admit the generational change is visually present compared to World Rally Championship 8. Even if it isn't so evident, especially if you don't have a good hardware to exploit the graphic potential of the game. But talking about physics, changes are minimal. World Rally Championship 8 was already a good game, with changes, grip on gravel, suspension model, everything was good already. And here in World Rally Championship 9 we just find a confirmation. So, no really big news. Anyway, after my long test on it, I can tell you this is the best rally simulation you can buy today, in terms of realism, of course. It's the first time I include a racing game about drift. And in my review a few weeks ago, I told you this is a sim arcade. In fact, when you drive normally, you can feel the car reaction are quite approximate. I mean, they are simplified. Moreover, the force feedback gives you few information on your hands about the grip. But if you start drifting, especially with all assets off, you need practice to handle the car, because you have to be precise with steering, throttle, brake and handbrake. Moreover, the level of customization in terms of car setup gives a good dose of realism to the game. But if we talk about graphics, even if it's a 2017 game, it looks like a PlayStation 3 game. That's because it comes from a mobile game. Anyway, everything is justified by a low price. So after all, it's a good game, especially for those who want to start learning the noble profession of drift. This is the oldest racing game in this chart. Let's forget about graphics, because it's quite obvious it won't be good, considering it's a 1995 game, especially if we compare it to the other games of this chart. It's more interesting to talk about the physics. Probably this was the most realistic racing game you can get in 1995. Setup system gives you the possibility to customize a lot your car, with big changes in terms of car reaction. The damage system was another great point to the game. For example, driving without front wing means understeer, while cornering without the rear wing at high speed means spin. I wanted to add this game so badly in this chart, also because it was my first game I played on my PC. The biggest disappointment of 2020 is called Project Kart 3. Just a little clarification. It isn't a disappointment for me. But for most of people who were waiting for a great success of Project Kart 2, oh yeah, it is. That's because the game approached a sim arcade style in terms of physics. For some people it's a downgrade. For me it's just a big change. As I told you in my previous videos, the sim arcade genre allows people who have poor or no experience in racing games to approach a moderate level of realism. In this way they can learn and have fun at the same time without suffering the difficulty of real simulations. The developers of this game made a good game, but they put on it the wrong name, considering Project Kart 2 was a decent full simulation. And that's the main reason of all this disappointment. I never seen so many complaints for a new racing game since the release of Gran Turismo 5. Graphically and visually we can say it's a real upgrade from Project Kart 2. Anyway, the game looks beautiful for 2020 standards.
EA Sports. Three, two, one.
Wait. Just because you watch the position of this game on the chart, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's a PlayStation 2 game, so we assume graphically it can't be better than Gran Turismo 4. But at the same time, we can't say it's a beautiful game neither for PlayStation 2 standards. It seems strange, but physics are too arcadey even for an arcade game. I mean, if you steer in full drift sometimes, instead of losing speed, you increase it. Quite strange. But despite that, I liked this game when I was younger. And I still like it. Because after all, it manages to give you a lot of fun. And what's the main purpose of an arcade game? Give you fun. So, for all people who are searching for a PlayStation 2 game for the emulator on their computer, I suggest you to play this.
Lame. Oh. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Racing's not about winning, it's about making friends.
Shut it, Pinky.
Take Mario Kart, add Need for Speed, and you have Blur. Yes, it's a Mario Kart with real cars. The racing game that many people wanted was released in 2010. Graphically it was very nice when it came out, and the fact it ran at 60 frames per second even on PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 was amazing. Physics was essentially arcade, made to be played with controller, even if the grip was a little more realistic than Burnout, in which you could do extreme drifts at more than 300 km per hour. Also, all the 55 cars present in the game were pretty differentiated in terms of acceleration, top speed, grip and difficulty, and they were customizable. Surely it wasn't a game full of originality, but thanks to the solid gameplay it was, and it's still loved by a lot of players, even after 10 years. So, this is my game chart after the 6th episode. As you can see, I included a lot of games already, but I'll include more games in the future, don't worry. See you in the next episode.